Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the modern right-wing propaganda industry, where every minor inconvenience is the fall of Rome, every disagreement is treason, and every solution is available on a mug for £19.99. These people call themselves defenders of Western civilization, yet most of their working day consists of filming themselves angrily inside a parked car. Apparently, Britain is collapsing. It has been collapsing every single day for 15 years. Rather impressive, really. You would think we would have reached the floor by now. But no. According to the propaganda merchants, civilization will finally end next Tuesday because a council changed the picture on a pedestrian crossing. They do not report news. They manufacture emotional indigestion. Breaking. Something completely ordinary has happened. Britain has banned kettles. No, Britain has not banned kettles. One office replaced an old kettle because it was leaking electricity into the sink. But that does not sell subscriptions, does it? These merchants claim to represent the silent majority, although they have never been silent for more than 11 consecutive seconds. They shout about free speech while blocking anybody who asks them for evidence. They oppose identity politics, then spend 6 hours explaining why owning a particular flag, drinking a particular beer, and wearing a particular pair of trousers makes them a real British man. They constantly accuse everyone else of being offended. Then a supermarket releases a Christmas advert containing someone they do not like, and suddenly they are lying on the floor demanding a national inquiry. And they absolutely love the word patriot. They put it on everything. Patriot coffee, patriot socks, patriot vitamin tablets. Nothing demonstrates devotion to Britain quite like purchasing a polyester hoodie manufactured abroad and sold through a company registered for tax purposes in Delaware. Meanwhile, the actual center-right is standing nearby saying, "Could we discuss productivity, housing, defense, and public sector reform?" And the propaganda merchant replies, "Boring. A cartoon character has gone woke." They think conservatism means being permanently furious at television programs made for children. Edmund Burke wrote about institutions, inherited wisdom, and social responsibility. The modern outrage merchant watches a biscuit advert and screams, "This is how communism begins." They do not want workable policies because workable policies contain numbers. Numbers are dangerous. Numbers might reveal that their magnificent master plan costs £400 billion, breaches several treaties, closes half the hospitals, and relies upon Luxembourg unexpectedly volunteering to pay for it. Ask them how their policy works and they say, "It's common sense." That is not an answer. That is what people say when the answer has escaped through a bathroom window. Their entire economic program is cut every tax, increase every service, borrow nothing, spend more on defense, somehow blame a university lecturer. And naturally, every propaganda merchant presents himself as a brave outsider fighting the establishment, usually from a television studio, with a newspaper column, a publishing contract, 3 wealthy donors, and a verified account on every major social media platform. What a courageous little resistance fighter. Che Guevara with an affiliate marketing code. They insist that politicians should speak plainly, but the moment a politician plainly tells them that their idea is impossible, they cry betrayal. They do not want honesty. They want bedtime stories for angry adults. The experts are lying. The courts are corrupt. The civil service is plotting. The media are hiding the truth. The voters were tricked. Every institution is apparently part of the conspiracy, except whichever institution has just agreed with them. Then it becomes a sacred pillar of democracy for approximately 48 hours. The center-right understands that government is difficult. Choices have consequences. Borders need enforcement, but economies also need workers. Taxes should be controlled, but public services still require money. Defense requires long-term planning, not a man shouting, "Britannia," beside a cardboard battleship. That is called reality. The propaganda merchants hate reality because reality keeps interrupting the performance. They do not conserve. They consume. They consume outrage, attention, donations, subscriptions, and whatever credibility the broader right has left. Then, after losing an election, they announce that the country has moved too far left. No, mate. The country simply got tired of being screamed at by a podcast host selling emergency food buckets. Real conservatism is not permanent revolution with a Union Jack filter. It is stewardship, stability, responsibility, institutions, gradual improvement, knowing that a nation is more complicated than a thumbnail of your face looking horrified beside the words, "It's worse than we thought." And here is the great secret the merchants never admit. They do not actually want the crisis solved. A solved crisis cannot be monetized. Peace does not generate clicks. Competence does not sell rage mugs. Sensible reforms do not produce 6 daily videos entitled, "They're terrified of US." So they keep their followers frightened, furious, and permanently one donation away from saving Western civilization. The center-right response should be simple. We are not joining your circus. We will defend the country without pretending every week is its final week. We will debate immigration without turning it into a traveling freak show. We will oppose bad ideas without inventing imaginary ones. We will love Britain without behaving as though Britain is a fragile ornament that can be destroyed by a vegan sausage roll. And we will leave the propaganda merchants where they belong, sitting in front of a webcam, surrounded by unsold patriotic merchandise, furiously explaining that their latest humiliating defeat was actually a tremendous victory. Use code COMMONSENSE10 at checkout.